Nebraska picks up Chubba Purdy out of the transfer portal. That's 2 additional quarterbacks in the last 2 weeks out of the transfer portal for Scott Frost. Kind of surprising. I'm John Johnston, CornNation. I'm here to talk to you about our amazingly crowded quarterback room. And that's what it is. I mean, compare it to last season when our only options for the season were Adrian Martinez, a beat-up Adrian Martinez beat to a pulp, and then Logan Smothers. And now we have 8 quarterbacks on the roster, 5 on scholarship. That's a lot of options coming into this season. So what do we expect out of this? I guess, Chubba Purdy, he was a 4-star recruit in the 2020 class, committed to Florida State, played there in 2020, 2021, played in 3 games in 2020. Really kind of minimal stats. He only played in 1 game last season against UMass, which is not really top-tier competition. But on the other hand, you look at Florida State, and their program's been a mess for a while, kind of like Nebraska. So I think he had like 54 pass attempts against UMass. Not a lot to go on, really. I mean, not a lot of experience. When he comes to Nebraska, he will have 4 years to play 4 seasons. And that's kind of the key there. Because if you look at Casey Thompson comes in with a pretty decent year at Texas last season, and he will have 2 years of eligibility remaining. So these guys they're not stacking on top of each other, right? I mean, Casey Thompson's probably going to play maybe a year, maybe 2, who knows, and then move on, and Chubba Purdy will still be around. Because the key here is this. You can go into the transfer portal one time and be eligible immediately. You can't transfer every time and be eligible immediately. So that's why the coaches like Scott Frost or Mark Whipple, who's just got on the job and got 2 quarterbacks out of the transfer portal that a lot of people were interested in, which is pretty, it's pretty impressive actually. But that's why these guys want to go after quarterbacks that are in the transfer portal more than they would a high school recruit, because they can see if they played. Once they transfer to you, they're kind of stuck, at least for a year, or at least they have to think about it instead of just going, I'm going to transfer right now. Okay, 8 quarterbacks on the roster. Logan Smothers, he's a sophomore, kind of the old man of the group, except for Mark Masker, who is a walk-on junior. You have Spencer Arsenault. You have Jarek Sinek, Heinrich Harburg, the big kid from, I think, Kearney Catholic, who looks like he should be a Division I starter. 6'5", 200 pounds. Looked impressive in last year's spring game. Raw, but looks like he could play. You have 3 incoming guys. You have Richard Torres, who's a new recruit, 6'5", 210. Casey Thompson, I did a video on him earlier, played at Texas, has good stats, looks like he's capable. Probably the projected starter, honestly, because of his experience. Chubba Purdy, 6'2", 215. Casey Thompson is 6'1". I think one thing about all of these guys, I don't think none of these guys really are your stand in the pocket guy, Dan Marino, for a new generation, Mac Jones. All of them are pretty much dual threat. Not completely dual threat maybe, but they're capable of mobility. Every one of them looks like they can move in the pocket. They can move somewhat. They're not just going to be a statue. So I like that personally. I think, given God knows what's going to go on with Nebraska's offensive line, is kind of required. But the key here is this. Everybody was bagging on Scott Frost about his recruiting class, and it was small and it was lowly ranked, and he only picked up like 1 offensive lineman, so certainly the future is going to be terrible. And you look at Chubba Purdy, and you kind of wonder, can he play offensive line? Anyway, so you have 2 running backs that have come in. You know, two actually fairly decent, highly rated running backs that have come in. You've got new receivers coming in. You have what, at least at the skill positions, you have kind of, you know, a good variety of new players mixed with older players, except at quarterback. We need experience from Casey Thompson. But put it this way. There's the bottom line on this. You have a gob of new guys in the skilled positions. You have a brand new offensive coordinator. You got a brand new offensive line coach, brand new running backs coach. Man, if you can't build something that scores 35 to 40 points out of this next season, you kind of deserve to be fired. And when you look at this, you kind of look at this and go, Casey Thompson and Chubba Purdy, again, both guys that were highly desirable and sought after by other teams, both coming to Nebraska out of the transfer portal. You kind of get the indication of the feel that they didn't come to a program where they thought the head coach would be fired next year. So I think there's something to that. Probably, you know, I really want to get excited about this. I know it's just January, and then I remember last season, you know, we spent the entire offseason looking at Nebraska's roster and look at, quite frankly, the talent that we had on last year's team, and you're going, this should be Scott Frost's best team. He had his defense coming back. He had an experienced quarterback, good-looking running backs. He should be able to win a lot of games. And then we go 3-9, lose our games by one score, and a lot of them in the most maddening, insane ways possible. So you kind of look at this season now coming up, and you're like, oh, he's got a whole new offensive staff. He's got a ton of options at quarterback, at running back, at receiver. Man, if we can put something together this season with a lot of wins, he deserves to be fired. That's really it. I mean, this is a good-looking group of people. It's very optimistic. Okay. Not so much about Chubba Purdy, but overall, wow. I think it's impressive, like I said. I'm not sure what else you can say about that. One more thing. With all these guys coming in, you got to believe that somebody is going to leave. And that somebody is probably Logan Smothers, who's got to look at both of these guys coming in and then Richard Torres and thinking to himself, I'm not going to be able to play here. And so the key is he going to transfer before spring football, or is he going to see what happens in the spring game and then transfer? So I wouldn't expect Logan Smothers to stick around. You never know what's going to happen to the rest of these guys, but 8 quarterbacks and 5 scholarship quarterbacks. I mean, you see what happens with other programs with a gob of quarterbacks. Not all of them stay. And Logan Smothers still has that chance to leave and play immediately. There you go. That's my impression of all this. John Johnston, CornNation. I hope you're taking care of yourself and having a good January. Go Big Red.